Okay, let's get to business. It's finally time for you to learn Python. If you're just starting out your journey with programming, then this language is going to be perfect for you. It has no complicated syntax, its functionality is very easy to understand, and this language is also extremely powerful. You don't need much code to build stuff like video games, like websites, like database management, and this is the main language that's used today to build AI and machine learning tools. So I hope you're hyped up because I sure am, so without further ado, let's dive right into this course. Alright, so if you haven't clicked off, then thank you very much. You're bringing me one step closer to defeating the YouTube algorithm, and this means a lot to me. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is download Python, because you can't build any Python project if you don't have Python installed. It's kind of self-explanatory. Alright, so you have to navigate to this beautiful website called python.org, and you will click the downloads button, right? So this should detect what operating system you're on. Right now I'm on Windows, so this should tell me that this is the latest version for Windows and Python 3.12.5. Wow, they make more versions than I make money. So you press this magic button and you should have Python installed right here, right? Now you want to open up this file you just got. And if you don't have this, I mean you should have this, you can actually do this as well in your downloads folder, right? You should have a downloads folder and the file should be somewhere right here, okay? So you click it and this is your Python installer, right? So before you click install now, right, you should check this box which says add python.exe to path. Let's check it and let's install. Alright, so when it downloads, this window should appear. Now you just hit close and you're ready to go. You can code in Python right now. But before you do that, we would need one more thing. You will need an IDE, which is an integrated development environment. This is basically a text editor for programmers, because this highlights specific fragments of code, it shows you where you made a mistake, and it can also give you hints what you can write next, because basically you can program in any text editor you want. You can make it in your notepad, but this will be a nightmare, believe me. Alright, so the IDE I would recommend for Python is PyCharm. So you can type PyCharm in your search browser and you should have the JetBrains website here, the Python IDE, and get PyCharm. Now we can click this or you can click download now. Right? So download now, you can have two options here. Either PyCharm Professional, which is paid, or PyCharm Community, which is free. Now for the sakes of this video, I will select the free one. Alright, so just like before, we will run the file that we have just downloaded, either through here or through the downloads folder I showed you before. Let's click it. And you should have the PyCharm setup right here, right? Let's click next. The default location, I won't change it. If you want to change it, go ahead. Next. Next. The other IDE I can recommend you is VS Code. So just like before we typed in PyCharm in Google, now we type in VS Code. Alright, so you should have Visual Studio Code. That's what VS stands for. So you can look at their official website. You should have the download button here as well. This also should find your operating system. You can click download and you will do exactly the same thing as we have done with PyCharm, right? I would generally recommend PyCharm when you're starting out with Python, because this is an IDE that's made specifically for this language. VS Code has support for every language, I suppose, that exists. However, it doesn't have as much features as PyCharm has when it comes to development in Python. Let's check this box which says run PyCharm when we finish. Click finish and you should get PyCharm. You will have to check the box that you have read and accepted the terms of this user agreement. I have read it, don't worry. Continue. And I will say don't send. Alright, so I have VS Code already downloaded here, so it asks me if I want to import settings. Now, this shouldn't appear if you don't have VS Code, of course. I'm gonna skip for now, and you should have this window open, okay? Alright, so it's time to create our first Python project. So you have this window, right? You can click New Project. So the name of the project is by default Python project or Python project 1 if this one already exists. The location should be your username and PyCharm project. This should create a directory right there. And you can name the project however you want. For the sake of this video, I will name it Hello Python. Okay, and you can change the location of it if you want. Okay. You don't have to click any of these right now. We will learn about Git later, and we will skip this welcome script, right? So, click Create. This should take a little while. Alright, so when everything is done, I should have this welcoming page here. If you don't have it, then there's nothing to worry about. This doesn't have any effect on our IDE and on our program, so I'll just close it. And what you want to do right here is create a new Python file, a file where we will be writing our Python code. How you can do this is navigate to the top left corner right next to your project name, in my case Hello Python. You should have this main menu, right? You have File, click New, and you can have a Python file here, okay? That's created. I will name it main, because this will be my main file, and it's in general a good practice to name those files main, the ones that will be running for you. Most programming tutorials say you should print out hello world to the terminal or whatever. We are going to be different, we are going to be original. What we are going to write out instead of hello world is Python is awesome, okay? So how do we do this? We simply write print, parentheses, and in quotation marks, whatever you want to print. So I said Python is awesome. Now, what this will do is write anything I have passed on here to the console. And how do we do that? Well, we click this magic green button here. We click play, and it should write out Python is awesome. So, congratulations, you have just written your first Python program. Now, I know this doesn't seem like much, but it's a start, okay? So, for the rest of this video, we will be talking about this print right here and what it does. As I said before, you can print out anything you want, so I can print Python is awesome with a bunch of exclamation marks, and it will print out this with all the exclamation marks as well. Okay, what else can we do? Well, apart from text, which is in quotation marks, we can write out numbers. We can print this number, and the numbers can be as big as you want. This is insane, okay? You can also print out the results of some operations, for example, addition. We'll talk about them later. And this should print out the result that is 1,267 plus 12,899. Okay? And what you can actually do with print is print out many things at once. For example, you can print out your name, you can print out your age, you can print out your pet's name, you can print out your address. I won't print out my address, don't worry. So how do we do that? Well, my name is Tony. So we can write down Tony, and you can separate this with a comma. Tony, comma, age, my age is 21 years old. My dog's name, well, I don't have a dog, but if I had a dog, it would be, I don't know, Fluffy. Let's see, cat's name, but whatever. Okay, so 21, Tony, and Fluffy. Now, what this code will do is print out all of these three values separated with a space. Okay, so as many things as you pass in here, you can pass numbers, you can pass more text. All of this stuff will be printed out with a space between every single one of these elements. Another thing to mention is that if you have many print statements, right? So you have print right here, let's say print again. Now, what will we print here? Well, here we can print Mark. Mark is 50 years old. It's not my dad, by the way. And his pet's name will be Doggo, a very original dog name. Okay, so what this does is, as you might think, prints both of these statements one after the other. Now, a key note here is that the print function at the very end of what it has to print, meaning right here at text, it will insert a new line character, which means the same thing as if you pressed enter. Now this is seen right here. The next thing is one line below. So it's just like you hit enter, okay? Okay, but the stuff we're doing right here is not very practical, because let's assume that I want to display some information about someone, okay? It's not going to be about me. Let's say, hypothetically, it's going to be about a Mark again, because I don't have original ideas about when it comes to names. So let's say print Mark lives in the USA. Okay, let's say print Mark is 50 years old. Okay, what else? Let's print Mark has a dog. Okay, so what this does is it prints these three lines one after another. Now, let's say Mark changes his name. Let's say Mark is now going to be called Daniel. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to manually change everything here to Daniel. We have to change to Daniel here, to Daniel here, and to Daniel here. Now, this is only 3 lines, so this is not very much work, but if you have like 50 different places where you have to change it to Daniel, then it becomes a little bit overwhelming. And apart from that, in those 50 places, there is a high chance that you can make a typo and write Daniel instead of Daniel. So you might be wondering, how do we solve this problem? And this is exactly what I will be covering in the next video, so stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, tell me that you subscribed, and of course, don't hesitate to leave a like. This will help me a lot to defeat the YouTube algorithm. See you in the next video. Ciao.